Okay, people, here we go. Well, I don't have a certain amount of resources. My fleet's been destroyed, so I got certain computer stuff, but not like what I had before. Uh, I don't know how to explain to people what it's like to say, I got a 4.0 in college in film and all this stuff, and it doesn't work when people destroy all your stuff. So we got overthrow nuclear missile BIOS chips. Okay, does that sound like a joke? Does that sound like a joke? Does that sound like a joke? Okay, because the reality here basically is this character here is not joking. Okay, and basically we have some other players here that also are basically not joking. Okay, these people, we have a clown legislature doing stuff to basically overthrow BIOS chips. See, they want control, and they're hiding what they're doing. They're hiding what they're doing, and this is a problem. We have major people that are saying, hey, look, these people are crazy. They don't understand. You don't just legislate certain things and that's it, it's fixed, it happens. These people are seriously mentally deficient. Okay, number one. And number two, they are also diabolic. These people are evil. They've already passed previous legislation under Repair Act to get all the accesses open, making it mandatory so people can repair stuff, which sounds wonderful, except the underlying thing here is that the state has to have a verification system in all of this. That means the state wants to have a master verification of a backdoor control system where nobody gets a choice. They hit a button, it forces an upgrade on all chips. All chips. Now, you've probably upgraded your phone before and you go, oh, yeah, I remember those. They give you no choice. Well, they're saying they give you a choice, but then they pass something that's no choice. And say, look, it's just a thing. We just want to know what your ages are. We're just going to put this one thing in every device. Your phones, your TV. Well, basically, all chips is what they want to do, okay? They're going to say, oh, no. They're lying, okay? So this is a serious problem because it covers all chips, okay? And what these people are doing is getting master control against all chips. I don't know if this clicks in your head. So there's different ways that this works. You've got the situation that deals with they institute an upgrade, and all of a sudden there's equipment all over the place that goes, we don't know how to deal with that. We can't possibly do that. And what do you think happens to the systems? They're frozen. They're stuck. They're stuck. In other words, they can disable. They can temporarily disable everybody's device. Now, you may have noticed this with your cell phone. Comes up and says, oh, you have to upgrade. Now, sometimes they're more aggressive. They say, yeah, you have to do this. Well, the one that they want to do is really aggressive. In other words, you have to do this. There's no other option. You can't make it stop. You turn off your phone or your device, you turn it back on, comes right back up. Okay, what this is a forced back door, basically. And some people have no idea what a forced backdoor situation is. It's a forced backdoor, okay? So it affects all chips, okay? All chips, okay? IBM, a bunch of different companies are flipping out. They're going, what are these people trying to do? Because the law covers all chips. They'll say, oh, we'll manufacture it at a certain date, and this and that. You have the thing is the small print is we can change anything at any given time that we want. See, once they pass it, then someone says, oh, it's been decided. We decided to change our policy, and it's all changed right now. So, in 10 seconds, they can change the policy. And the policy gives them access to different year chips. Okay? So, in conjunction with these other areas, you put it all together. And what they have is you have the state of California having this guy right here saying, you can trust me. You can trust me. And look, we're just going to help identify the ages of your children, and so they'll be protected. Okay. But they want access to all chips at the same time. Now, keep in mind, at the same time, they're also banning all firearms, okay? And making a bunch of really strict laws that basically are saying anyone who has a gun is a criminal, unless there's somebody in law enforcement, okay? But some people in law enforcement will tell you, I've read these laws, they're so strict to what they're proposing. The moment I'm off duty, if I have a firearm, they can arrest me. I mean, it's so ridiculous, it's mind-boggling, And these super restrictions, and you have to go through all these times, these courses and these procedures and all this ridiculous stuff, okay? So here we're in a state of quasi-emergency in multiple ways. We need to figure out, how are we going to deal with the mega drone situation? How do you deal with millions of drones swarming? China did I had one, I think it was like 240,000 drones up in the air being controlled by computers at the same time. Okay. Now, if you go look at these drone things, I'm going to tell you, you can look at these Chinese drone displays. By the way, some of them are beautiful. They're actually quite beautiful, to tell you the truth. But, you're talking about people working with different devices. And yeah, there's lots of different, practical things. And yeah, some people can get hurt, mistakes can happen. Oops, it doesn't work anymore, falls from sky. Oh, it embedded itself in a child's head. Yeah, that can happen. Okay, now, so the trust situation here, as parties can just stroke a pin at any given time and change it any different way they want. Okay, and it's a no-choice mandatory update. So it's a weapon that they can point at any given chip at any given time, okay? And what some people don't understand is that there's certain other special backdoors for certain types of upgrades that other people don't understand, which means that if you have independent devices, someone can take a box someplace, okay? Go inside a certain building or a structure, press a button, and that remote transmitter connects to another remote radio that's already inside certain chips. Okay, this is part of the problem. Okay, so we have defense-related equipment that has special service backdoors in it. They want all of them at the same time. Okay, so they also want all the stuff for repairs to be available for everyone at the same time, okay? So the way California does it is they make everything. Well, we make it public. Well, see, to them, they don't understand, before God and all we proclaimed, but we were the public. Okay, well, if we're the public, then what is proclaiming before God and all that? Well, actually, that's a tactical table map of planet Earth and all these other people, okay? That's the rest of the world, okay? Because why? We are going to remake republic, okay? Because we're going to redo a public thing that's all of us. And all of us as the public are actually stewards originally that are deciding to be stockholders, okay? A republic actually is supposed to have stockholders, okay? People don't understand. Oh, it's a democracy. Everybody votes. We have a republic, okay? That means that there's a certain way of understanding vested citizens. In other words, you have to be loyal. You're either loyal to the new business deal that we made, which is colonial constitutional capitalism, okay? Or you can't vote. That's the deal, okay? because we wanted nothing to do with European philosophies. Okay? Very important to understand this, all right? And you have these people that are trying to say, oh, well, Marxism and socialism, good thing. Yeah, no, bad thing. Okay? And essentially, these things did not exist. We were the revolution. We were the real world revolution. Okay? To say that we have 100% rights, 100% rights of ownership, yada yada, 100% guarantees for access to the treasury, unlimited, for the purpose of building. Okay, a whole bunch of stuff, and none of these people want to talk about it. Why? They're recreating slavery. Say, 1776 average life expectancy, 38 years. Most people built at least 7 structures. At least 7 structures. Okay. So now they're telling you that, well, maybe by the time you're ready to retire, after working for 42 years and you go to school, so you can now retire at 60 something. Okay. But you're supposed to work. Okay. And then perhaps you'll achieve the American dream of finally having your own home. That's all bullshit. Okay. Because it's always your right to build a roof over your head. Go talk to the Eskimos, go talk to people in Greenland. If you don't build a roof over your head with your own hands, you're going to die. Okay? You need to save yourself from the elements. Well, these people are like, no, we've created a lot of rules. If you don't have certain money, you're not allowed to do things. So now, of course, what do we have? We have mass genocide all over the place. People are dropping dead all over the place. We have mass genocide. And these people are using massive demographic attacks to destabilize people's lives. What are those? Marxism, communism, socialism is how they run certain things. And it was invented by the Royal German Empire. Okay, so all these people were spies. Lenin, spy. Okay, all of them were spies. They were all on the payroll, both as a spy and as a syndicate member. Okay, Marx, same stuff. Okay, rich industrialist guy kept visiting him all the time. He also was connected to the German spy department. Okay, so he constantly brought him advanced arranged material to help him make a massive organization of mind control. Okay, like it's an ethics church or something. But then he shares information back as to who the people are that are problems. See, then you have all these other people in law enforcement and special agencies that have lists of this stuff, so they know who to go after. Okay, so apparently, but these people were dissidents, right? And they never got arrested. Okay, again, BS. Okay. I'm telling you, these people were all spies, okay? And they're being trained to destabilize governments in various different ways. So we have these people that are learning scholastics from universities and medical schools that were infiltrated by what? The Royal German Empire, okay? Along with all their good buddies, okay? The communists, the socialists, RGE, well, we want to make a lot of money and we got syndicate members. Look, we want you to run around and convince everyone at these college that they should give away all their great discoveries for free in the interest of humanity. You see, that way we'll get a hold of all this stuff for free and we don't really have to pay for it much. But here's a bunch of cocaine. We manufacture this wholesale. Just trade it. It's currency, okay? Use narcotics as currency, okay? So these are who these people are, No surprise here. Okay. So a lot of people are missing the deep understanding of what certain hidden players are and what they actually do. Okay. Let me explain this to you. Since the beginning of weaponization of data, the so-called Enlightened Age was the beginning. Look, there's no enlightenment. There is only lies and blood. Okay, there's like 300 million people dead connected to all this BS, okay? There is no enlightenment. There's only lies and blood. Okay, if you look around right now, we have only genocide and pain and suffering and people getting burned. And they go, oh, well, we're not taxing everybody at the same time. They're doing overlap groups, continuously going after different groups. Now, see, statistically, this works out in demographics. It's weaponization, utilization of demographic taxation of a mechanism to destabilize people. See, to waste your time, to basically destroy your financial life, to continuously lessen your capabilities as they're telling you they're fighting for you. These are a bunch of clowns lying to you. They're running around throwing peanuts, okay? And some people, they don't quite get this. They don't quite understand what's actually going on and what these people are doing, okay? They're not stimulus. The original reason for elections and competition is for who has the best stimulus plan to continuously do what? Well, promote the general welfare. Welfare, that's food stamps, right? Okay, the fair of commerce is for the wellness of your financial situation. But welfare then meant what it's supposed to mean now. Okay, commerce fairs, commerce markets, farmers markets where there's a lot more diversity and bigger, okay? County fair, whatever, okay? To be able to promote and do business for your financial wellness, okay? And we're supposed to have unlimited access to the Treasury to build. Okay, it works for some of us, okay? 175 million people, designated group 1, designated group 2 is 100 million, okay? This has to do with the actual land purchases. Government had no money. They came to us for it, promised us stock, mineral, residuals, dividends on the deals, and land stakings for mining and for building and claiming land. See, these people are telling you that socialism is good, that they want to help you get fair pay, okay? This is all BS, because the second that they do it, then everybody goes in and pulls out their accounting books and readjusts them immediately. Oh, we just raised all the prices. It's over. We're done. What a big waste of labor. Now we have to keep running and redo all the accounting, right? So, or they're going to tell you, well, see, then these people are going to take a loss. They're going to give you a better percentage. Really? You're sure about that? Does it work that way? Okay, demographic attacks. Okay, come on, give me a break here, man. See, they have no idea of coming up with real stimulus plans. See, they're so desperate now they're going after people's savings. Just a one-time deal, like maybe 20%. Well, we're going to do 5% a year, okay? And we got people going, my savings account pays less than that. That means I'm going backwards, but I've already paid tax on that money 6 times. Taxation without representation. Okay, look. Okay, this goes against the concepts of wise storehouse management. Okay. You look in the Bibles, people's religion is, the 3 guys that left for a while that loved money with their servants and whatnot and said, here's a bunch of money. I'll be back later. You handle this money for a while and I'll come back and you give it back to me and show me what you did. And one of them buried it in the ground. And the other ones were rewarded. One of them did a bunch of deals and lost, and the guy says, I understand. You put your earnest effort and all your time into it and it didn't work. That's okay. That's okay. I understand. You tried your best. That's how. Another guy invests it, makes lots of money. Hey, you did great. Okay, well, I'm giving you this extra. Here you go. And then you have the guy that buries it in the ground, okay? And the master comes back and beats him some or slaps him or whatever. He says, look, you go, well, why did you do this? He says, I'm afraid I didn't want to lose your money. He says, why did you bury it in the ground? He says, if you were afraid of not losing it, you could have took it to the money changers, and I'd at least had the interest. These are lessons in faith in people's religion. And now we have people violating people's religion over how you manage your financial life to make sure that you control the storehouse at a certain level so that you'll have resources to help protect yourself, to be wise and protect for the future. These people are destroying everything. See, they're grabbing a hold of the candle and they're burning at both hands and the middle. Does this click in anybody's head here? Now, so what these people are doing is making separate deals with people. So right now what these people are doing is they're trying to overthrow everybody's electronics. Because the way it works, giving them access, and the way the programs work, you don't have a choice. And you can endlessly all of a sudden find a situation where, how come I have 19 upgrades? I have to do one after another after another. I'm sure some of you have noticed that from time to time. You get stuck on 3, maybe 7 upgrades. It just keeps happening again and again. What is this? And they're huge. It's like, I've had them before. It's like, why do you need to put 5 gigabytes in your phone as an upgrade? How is that possible? It's not. Okay. It's not. Okay. It's all BS. Okay. Now, so these people want to be able to hit a button and send a prescription at certain people's phones. And the way this stuff works is everybody their devices send back a signal to verify ages. Okay. And they're going, it doesn't verify this or that. Those are all lies. The way it works is there's an ecosystem where you can identify network hub locations, so forth, etc., tower, whatever. And you can also identify the distance on the nanoseconds and the direction. So you have all this other tower stuff and line stuff that's going to tell you exactly where somebody's position is. So they're getting exact geolocation, okay? And they're forcing it into everybody's phone, which means they get to control whether or not your phone is operational or not by using a big multi-choice series of options to freeze your phone from being practical. This means they can stop you from buying things on the stock market. If you get an emergency call in the stock market, these people can hit a button and stop you from selling your stock while they go ahead and sell their stock. Okay, they can constantly manipulate the stock market by basically making null zones, okay? By just sending this out, and they're going to claim, oh, well, it's innocent. There's nothing wrong here. It was just an update. You people have to understand what's going on here, because this is not a game, okay? This is not a game. These people want to get a hold of every type of chip, backdoor biosystem that's basically ever been made. I don't care what they're claiming that they're saying. It doesn't work that way, okay? They want it all, okay? That means that they even want access to chips that are used to build missiles with, okay? To run weapon systems, communication systems, calculators, typewriter, everything, your TVs, everything, okay? So what's happening here is these people and this guy want to be able to have access to everybody's device at exactly the same time. Is this clicking in your head, people? And they're taking all the guns away as we have incredible threats coming on from China. Look, people, I'm telling you, okay, these people have been doing mass election rigging, mass fraud, okay? Election stealing is like second nature to them, okay? They owe me $5.8 billion. They've been demographically engineering weaponized destabilization techniques of a very wide nature for decades. They've continued to evolve it along with other techniques. And if they don't like you, they have all these ways to manipulate people to do things. You might have noticed somebody flickering their eyes wildly, blinking, blinking, blinking. What happens? It sounds like he looks like Morse code and he needs help. What happens? A true believer decides to go crashing through the blockades by the White House. Okay, nutcase. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he wants to. Does he want to control Manchurian candidates? You know, my dad was into race planes pretty heavy. I studied them a bit, and I studied a lot of stuff. Okay, a whole lot of stuff. Okay, carbon fiber, all kinds of neat stuff. Okay, fiberglass, mold making, all kinds of stuff. Okay, filmmaking. Okay, 4.0 student here. Okay, now. Okay, but what? yeah, they steal my equipment. These people are responsible at multiple times. I lost more than $250,000 worth of editing equipment, where millions and millions of dollars of damage was done before. $300 million book collection. Okay, $300 million bucks. My data archive, as I started to appraise how to repair it, amazingly, data archives became worth this huge amount of money. Why? Oh, AI. Hello. So to replace my damaged archive as of several years ago, that these people are responsible for causing the damage, was over $900 million. Okay, people go, well, how is this? Pay attention. Okay. That wasn't the complete estimate. As I go through more estimates and as time goes on, you have the legal 10% interest. Okay. Meanwhile, these people have stolen my legitimate driver's licenses 3 times. They've been told by the IRS, look, we investigated this. You stole this guy's tax records, his identification, all this stuff. You have to give it back. Look, we want to see it. They wouldn't even let the IRS see it. And they says, you can't do that. And they're like, we don't care. We're going to do anything we want. And the guy says, I have a badge. His boss wouldn't let him go arrest these people. He was furious. You get FBI agents on the phone. Yeah, I get arrested. What do I do? Well, I get one call. Yeah, good. Let me call the FBI. I call the FBI. The FBI gets in the place, put it on the speaker, and the guy goes, asks the cop, he says, what are you doing? Oh, well, that's all BS, man. That's garbage. That guy's a candidate and you're harassing him. Give him his photo ID back, his driver's license, immediately. I'm looking at the same record you are. This guy's insurance is on file. This guy's payment record for all his taxes and tags. I'm looking straight at it. It's fully paid, man. You release this guy immediately. Give him his vehicle back. Give him his life. We're talking 3 strikes, you're out, folks. 3 strikes. They just keep doing this. This is what's going on in California. And when you bring it to the court's attention, they refuse to be a court of record, which is mandatory for candidates to be able to appear in courts of record, or we don't have to appear. By the way, we don't have to appear anyhow. We send in evidence and negotiate. Look, here, I got evidence right here beyond the shadow of the doubt, and I am innocent. You go investigate this first before you bother me. Okay, what do they care? They don't care. Well, we're ordered by the state of California. But yeah, here's evidence. Oh, we're not allowed to arrest those people because we're ordered not to. Look, I just gave these people evidence beyond the shadow of a doubt that these people are involved in treason. Treason. Attacking archives, that's treason. Julie Sue, okay, blacklisting 1.4 million people, okay, goes to the federal government, gets money, and says, hey, I have a list of names of people who are entitled money to COVID you ordered. Oh, here you go. She takes the money, she comes back, she blacklists us. She tells everybody there's multiple funds. Oh, some fund areas have run out of money. Oh, but we got all this $30 billion left for people that don't speak English, that are not citizens. They did this. Mass election rigging, mass economic sabotage. It was intentional. Demographic sabotage. So what do these people do? They keep blacklisting me. You don't see my name on the ballot because they're blacklisting me. How many times do you people and the media have to understand These people are sending people out to assault people violently. I ended up with 900 pounds of glass on the ground. These people destroyed an entire fleet. And now they want access to all electronic devices at the same time and to take your guns away. Wake the heck up, man. Do you understand? You want to deal with this? I'm the one guy that has the evidence to place these people immediately under arrest. And if you people can't figure that out, you probably deserve to be controlled by China.